How you doing today? I'm Joel Wanasek. I'm a pro mixer and co-founder of nailthemix.com, the coolest place in the entire world and possibly universe to learn how to mix rock and metal music. So if you're interested in learning how to actually mix, check that out. Anyways, today I'm going to break down what may be considered the greatest rock mix of all time, and it's very, very highly loved and respected for the mix on this song, and that is Boulevard of Broken Dreams by Green Day, mixed by none other than the legendary Chris Lord-Alge. So let's break this mix down, talk about it, and listen. I like the bold intro. You know, it's got the loud guitar, the tremolo on the left. Catches your interest, you know, for sure when you're going through the radio, like no song starts like this. Super loud.
I walk a lonely road, the only one.
And I like how the acoustic guitar comes in and is immediately quieter than the intro tremolo guitar. It just stays at that level. It's like it gets your attention, it holds it, and now it's like, hey, it's the verse. It brings it down a little bit, and that's a really cool dynamic. Again, not something I would expect. Usually sometimes they'll start with an intro, then they'll build into the next section. And it's just like intro strong and let's bring it down here and start the verse. Very cool. Very, very cool move.
Don't know where it goes, but it's home to me and I walk along.
Okay, a lot going on to break down here, so bear with me. A couple things. Let's pay attention to the drums first. Kick is pretty forward, pretty punchy. It's got a nice top onto it, which is very signature for a CLA mix. It's not a super subby kick. You know, there's a good amount of balanced energy. It's not like a super deep, really hard hitting kick. The snare, not the brightest snare I've heard from CLA. It's very mid-range. Again, this isn't really that aggressive of a song, so you probably don't want super hype drums with a ton of sub on the kick and a really cranked top on the snare. So it's mixed very, very balanced, and it sounds fantastic. Hi-hat is definitely quite a bit louder than the kick and snare here in the verse.
On the Boulevard of Broken Dreams, where the city sleeps.
Now there's a lot going on in the mid-range here to dissect. This is a very dense part for a verse. Usually in a rock song, it tends to like thin out a little bit in production and then get denser in the chorus. And this is an interesting one because you have piano in the mid-range. You have a tremolo guitar, you have acoustic guitar, you've got full drums, and you have vocals. That is a lot of stuff going on at the same time, especially for a part that comes in and the dynamic goes down a little bit so it can go back up into the chorus. So let's take a look at how those things are positioned in the mix frequency-wise. Piano is super bright, not a lot of bottom end, not a ton of mid. It's got a little bit of, you know, it's a little scooped out, and he's definitely positioned it up in the top end of the spectrum because the only thing that's really up there is the hi-hat. And that lead guitar call and answer thing here, that's pretty bright and that's pretty loud. Let me bring it back a little bit.
Don't know where it goes, but it's home to me and I walk along.
I mean, the main groove is really coming from the piano. It's very bright and very forward with the drums. The acoustic guitar is just kind of in there driving it kind of. Vocals, not super bright, very mid-rangey. You know, there's a lot of like 1K range in there. You know, a lot of body in the voice. It's not very cranked on the top end. But those guitars are super bright.
I walk this empty street on the Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
Okay, I love that dichotomy because it's like you have a vocal that almost, I don't want to say sounds rolled off, but it's not super bright. There's not a lot of like 8K in there like you'd hear in a lot of rock mixes, especially, you know, Chris's style. He loves the crank top and the vocals. These are kind of smooth and just like mid-rangey, and then all of a sudden those guitars come in and they're super bright, super attention grabbing. So it's like you're listening to the vocal, you're in the groove, you know, and then all of a sudden it's just like boom, lead guitar catches your interest, diverts it. Okay, let's move on here in the song.
I walk alone.
Those guitars are super loud right there, and I just love how attention grabbing it is. It's an extremely bold, balanced decision.
I walk alone.
Here's where the bass really drives the energy of the song. So listen to the drum energy. Again, there's not a lot of sub push down there in the bottom. You know, it's not like this song has very aggressive drums, like for example, Nickelback, that really drive the energy. It's all coming from that mid-rangey bass. Listen to it. super loud and it's cranked on the top end. It's very, very bright. I mean, dare I say the top end of the bass is as loud as the cymbals? I mean, if you're listening on good speakers, you'll hear this. It is super loud, and I love it because the really loud bass, while it's not super like thick, right? So it's not muddy, is really tight, really compact, really bright, and it just really drives the movement and the energy of that chorus. It sounds huge. Absolutely massive, crush it. Yeah, that bass is really pushing the energy. I mean, it's there in the kick and the snare, but the energy is coming from the bass, and obviously the guitars are providing that eighth note. Guitar's got like a lot of top in them. You know, there's a lot happening in like the 3 to 5K range, and there's definitely some top end. I can definitely hear the SSL EQ on the top end. Guitars are mixed louder than the drums, really pushing the energy. Yeah, same thing here. Just like the hi-hat in the verse was a little bit louder than the shells, the crash cymbal is really, really pushing the cymbal to, you know, like the dynamic of the kit and the energy of the kit. So it's like he's made a conscious decision to roll off the aggression of the kick and snare direct sound and make it more cymbals, make it more guitars. And it's a different type of energy, right? If you had a lot of kick and snare pushing it, it would definitely make it sound more aggressive. Well, this isn't an aggressive song, so why would you make a really bombastic sounding kick and snare? It's better to have something that's well balanced, that's really nice, that kind of sits, that's tucked, and let that energy come from the cymbals, because they sound, you know, they sound less aggressive. They don't have so much transient and snap to them. Some nice harmonies in there on the voice. So it goes mono, stereo, right? So it's like very, you know, like a very doubled kind of voice that's very dense. And then all of a sudden there's a bunch of harmonies here on the sides that come in. And it's a nice, you know, call and answer. The vocal is pretty upfront. It is not super wet. It sounds dry, but at the same time, it's really well connected to the mix, both frequency-wise and in terms of effects-wise. It's not like gushing with reverb or anything like that. It's in a great spot. Sometimes I wish someone out there will find me. I definitely hear some pretty epic delay on there. It's quiet, but it's there. I shouldn't say it's quiet. It's getting eaten by the guitars, but it's in there. It just adds. Tom's pretty balanced, not a ton of bottom on him. Listen to that. Again, keeping with the theme here, if the toms are really bombastic, right, it was super subby, too powerful. Tom's super cranked on the top end, a lot of top end energy and not a lot of sub. And it's very, again, very, very cohesive. When you're mixing a song, you're painting a picture, you're painting an image of that song, right? So you have to make decisions. Like, do you want it to be kick and snare forward, or do you want it to be kick and snare back and cymbal forward? Do you want it to be guitar heavy, or do you want it to be bass driving the energy, or do you want it to be, you know, the low end pulled back and tight? Do you want it to be very vocal heavy, right? All of these decisions are going to change the emotional impact of the song. And there's a lot of different ways to balance a song. You know, mixing isn't just about EQ, how one guy EQs or one person, you know, compresses or whatever. It's about balance. It's about interpreting how a song's energy of the instrument should be laid out in the space to convey the emotion. And I think this is what makes this song so brilliantly mixed, is those choices that Chris made when he was mixing really just, you don't listen to the mix, you just hit play and you're like, this sounds awesome, it feels great, and the song is amazing. You know, like, that's what a great mix is. Here we go. We have that little, almost like a verse breath, and it rocks out into a verse. I walk alone, I walk. Super loud on the lead guitar, and I like how it's kind of almost got a little bit of a left pan to it. I mean, it sounds stereo, but either my speakers are not calibrated right, or I'm hearing more signal come out of the left side of the speaker. It's like a little bit off left, and I think that's cool. Again, it's attention grabbing. If it's just right up the middle, everything all the time, and you're not using your pan spaces, you know, to make things interesting and to catch attention and to direct attention, what's the point? Again, it's what makes a great mixer. A great mixer knows how to just be like, you know what? You're probably expecting to hear this, but I'm going to give you this right now, and then I'm going to throw this at you and then bring it back, you know, or vice versa. Really smooth guitar tone. It's cool. It's got a lot of top end in it, but it's not very like bright. There's not a lot of like 3K pinch. It's very like crunchy sounding, and there's a ton of like 8K. Yeah, you can just hear all that high end frequency. So I mean, when you brighten it up, but you're not making it harsh, it's a really cool tone. It's very warm, but it's still bright, if that makes sense. Like the mid range is smooth. The body of it's very warm, and up top you have all this like airy hiss that kind of makes it sound bright, and it stands out. It's a cool tone. It's very unique and interesting. Really crushing up the cymbal right there. Yeah, I mean, this mix is pretty badass. Let me know what you think of this mix in the comments. Obviously a heavy hitter in the mix game and a very, very legendary mix. I know a lot of people consider this the best sounding rock mix of all time. So let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you think Chris knocked it out of the park, also other songs that you'd be interested in seeing me break down. Please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video, and please follow me on Instagram and TikTok. It's just at Joel Wanasek, very easy to find, and you can find it in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.